preliminary hearing and will then decide whether there's enough evidence to send the case to trial. We've got criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully, and we talked about how this is really more procedural in nature, and yet still the fight continues, especially for the defense, to try and limit their hurdles come trial.
Sure, yes. So a lot of times when you get a really tough case, the ethical duty of a defense attorney is to be a zealous advocate. The ethical duty of a prosecutor is to be a zealous advocate. So you have two zealous advocates for each side, and ideally that's how you get to justice, is by basically fighting it out in court and seeing who wins. So as we talked about yesterday, this really is, judges and would probably be upset if you said it was a rubber stamp procedure. But if you wanted the quick word to kind of quickly describe it, that's a pretty good use of the term. So I do expect there to be a holding order in this case, meaning the judge says there's enough here, this case can go to trial.
So far,
preliminary hearings.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, preliminary hearings just come to us historically with the belief that before you're accused of a felony and before you have to go and fight for, your life in trial, there should, so that we weed out weak cases initially up front. And that still does happen to some degree, but normally what you see is just judges okaying the prosecution's case.
In your estimation, is this a kind of clear trial, a case, if you will, for the government?
It would seem to be very strong based upon the evidence that they're showing so far. Again, they're giving a kind of a thumbnail sketch. It's not the full movie. It's not the full jury trial. It's a movie preview, not 2 hours long. It's 2 minutes long, analogous. So they're showing, like, the first day they showed kind of the overall layout, the sniper's nest. They showed a lot of surveillance video allegedly linking Mr. Robinson to the surveillance video. The second day, they talked about the gun, kind of DNA evidence, and introduced more motive, planning. They have to introduce evidence of planning in order to show that this was a planned act in order to get the death penalty and keep that on the table. So, and then today has been all about basically the DNA and fighting over the DNA. So they're being pretty thorough in the presentation. It appears that they have a good case based on the preliminary hearing, but we don't know where the defense is going to go in jury trial.
All right, we'll wait and see what comes of the hearing. It should wrap up by Friday. Joseph, thank you for that.
Yes, take care. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
From the towering redwoods